So you just want to, take a look through here and see if there's anything that you're interested in. So, just for example, let's say this one's $80 per hour. Let's say I really like that one, diagnose and repair an HP printer. What's up, YouTube? It's GigStacker. Anybody new? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you for coming back and checking out the channel. Appreciate it. So today we're going to be talking about a question from one of our viewers, A. Kent, who asks, I'm curious, how long have you been on FieldNation before you started getting any gigs? And what were some of the things you did to get your rep up? So we're going to go ahead and discuss this, my 7 ways to improve your FieldNation profile and start getting more and more work. All right, so let's get right into it. So for the first question of how long it was for me before I started getting gigs on FieldNation, I actually lucked up quite considerably in that my brother was doing FieldNation before I got into it. He had work orders that he required a second tech on, and I already had many years of experience of doing DirecTV and experience with computers. So it was a natural transition for me to be able to help him out with the field IT work with FieldNation, which is what I did. So for me, it was quite simple. I got right into it because I was just doing work orders that my brother already had and he needed assistance on. But for many other people, my brother included, getting started can be kind of rough. It can take some time before you get some traction going, before the sellers know who you are and know that you do good work and are requesting you to do jobs before they even put it out on the market. It can be a real grind before you get some traction. I mean, that could be weeks, that could be months. Depends on how much time you're putting into it realistically, and also the market that you're into. Some markets might be hotter than others. As for the question of what are some things that you can do to get your rep up, I've got 7 things that I suggest you do. Let's go ahead and take a look at this profile. So this is me. So the first of the 7 things that I suggest you do is that you have a professional profile, plain and simple. If you have a professional profile, buyers who are looking at you to have you do work orders for them are going to be much more likely to give you that work order. So that's not the only thing, but it is very important that you have a professional profile. So for one, you want to have a picture that shows that you're a professional, maybe like a button up, something that you would actually wear out in the field, like a blue collar button up, a black button up, something like you see here. Okay, on top of that, you want to have a pretty good description. For mine, I've got, over 9 years of experience as a computer technician, cable technician, field technician. So like I said, I was doing DirecTV before I did this. I had worked with computers for a very long time. I did computer science. Put together a pretty good description of who you are, what it's like to interact with you, and, the benefit that you'll bring being a provider for a company. All right, we also want to have, in the same vein, the industries that we've worked in, our skill set, the equipment that we have available, and this is something that you can build up as you work. You don't necessarily have to buy everything all at once. Okay, licenses and certifications, and your education. In terms of licenses and certifications, you don't necessarily need to have something in order to get work. I mean, as you can see, I don't have any of that, and I've been getting good work myself, but that's because I have a lot of experience mostly. Second thing is that you need an up-to-date background check and drug test. So I suggest getting this done every 12 months. That just gives the buyers a sense of security and that you're clean and you're professional and you're going to do a good job. Third thing that I suggest, look to see if you are routed any work orders. Another really nice thing that you'd want to do as well in terms of looking for routed work orders is this is what I do. I go to my notification settings, a notification that you are routed a work order. I set that to email immediately and text immediately. This is the only notification that I have set to text me, because when you get routed a work order, usually the companies routing you that work order are routing it as a blast to everybody in the area that can do the work. And you want to be the first person to notice that you were routed that work order, so that if it's something you're interested in doing, you can accept it, because there is no bidding process when it comes to routed work orders. They sent it to you, you can accept it, and then you can go do the job. It's that simple. So you definitely want to be ready to accept routed work orders as soon as possible. It is one of the easiest ways to get work orders. Like for sure, one of the easiest ways to get work orders. So make sure you hit that button for it to text you immediately and to email you immediately. All right, so that's routed work order. So that's number 3. Number 4, you need to apply to as many jobs as possible. Okay. So if we go and take a look at the available work orders, so we can take a look at the available work orders here. So I'm currently in the Seattle area. So we can see all the work orders that are available. We can see the hourly rates, the companies, the type of work that it's in, and the time frame required. So you just want to, take a look through here and see if there's anything that you're interested in. So, just for example, let's say this one's $80 per hour. Let's say I really like that one, diagnose and repair an HP printer. Never worked on it before. I'm sure I could figure it out. Do some research before I get to the job site. Go ahead and click on this work order. Take a look and see if this is something that I'm comfortable doing. Seems legit. I like the pay. Time frame works for me. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hit the request button. So I click that button right there. And usually I'll request it with an ETA. Sometimes I do request without an ETA. And so I'll just go ahead and do that right now. And if you feel inclined, you can also send a message with the request. Some believe that can assist you in being able to get more work orders. All right. And also in terms of applying to as many jobs as possible. So another good tip that I have is to look at your notifications. It's a really good idea to apply to work orders as soon as they're posted. Now what that does is it puts you in ahead of all the other techs that are going to request that work order. And in some cases, applying to work orders like as soon as they get posted can get you work same day, because they need somebody out like right away. And on top of that, sometimes these jobs can pay more than other jobs which have a longer time frame before they need to get done. You can see here when the job was posted. You click on it, you'll see if it's still available. So this work order is still available, and then I would request it if I'm interested in doing this work order. What's really important here though is that you apply to as many jobs as possible, and make sure that these are jobs that you're either comfortable doing or comfortable learning how to do. Also make sure that you'll have the tools to be able to do the job too. It's very important. Number 5, be prepared. Do as much research as possible on any work orders that you get. So that means if it's something that you don't understand, reach out to the work order buyer. Say, hey, this something about this work order doesn't make any sense. Could you break it down for me, or give me the number for the person that can explain it? Google is your best friend. You can search up anything. You can learn almost any issue that you run into online. Also, there's groups on FieldNation that you can join where technicians can give each other assistance. So, might want to look into joining one of those in order to help you do some research as well. And make sure that before you go on site, you have all the required tools. You do not want to get on site and not have the tools required. That would be very bad. That would not be the good one. All right. All right, number 6. You need to do excellent work. Excellent work. And in addition to that, when you're closing out your work order, you want to make sure that you use very detailed and thorough closeout notes and take beautiful pictures, very beautiful pictures. What that's going to do is the buyer, when they see the closeout of the work order, they're gonna see the very detailed notes. They're going to see the amazing pictures that you took of the work you've done, and they're going to be interested in having you as one of their techs that does work for them consistently. If they need help, they're going to want to reach out to you because they know you're going to get the job done right, and they know it's going to look good, and they know the customer is going to be happy. And number 7, pursue the preferred provider network from the buyers that you have worked with. All right. So now, what does this mean? What does this mean? When you do a work order for a company, so when you do a work order for somebody, so I'm just going to pull up the available work orders here. So let's say you do a work order for Essential, right? You do a really good job, and you were in contact with the buyer, the manager of the buying company. If you close out the work order, there's nothing wrong with you reaching out to them and just saying, hey, I really enjoyed working with you. You guys have very organized. Your work order was greatly detailed, and it was a pleasure to work with you. Is it possible that I can join your preferred provider network? Maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll say no. And if the answer is a no, maybe you could just follow it up with, I would love to do it in the future. Could you give me any pointers in how somebody can become a part of your preferred provider network? And maybe they'll say you have to take this test, you have to get this certification, or something of that nature. But at least you'll know so that you can work towards it. Being a part of a buyer's preferred provider network can work wonders for you. This can mean that you have consistent work coming in, and you're not always out requesting work. This, it can be a godsend. So that's definitely something you want to look out for in terms of, trying to build a strong brand and build a strong reputation on the FieldNation platform. All right, guys. So that has been my 7 tips for, becoming a good tech, building a strong brand, getting more work on FieldNation. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I love to, help people on the YouTubes. If you're interested in seeing more GigStacker, I am currently streaming on Twitch as Chief Gigs, and I'll go ahead and put the link down below if you want to check that out. Go ahead and hit that follow button for me. I'll greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can check them out right here.